Welcome to qualifier number 4. Battlefield of Eternity is our first map in the best of 3 series between the Enjoyers and Team Ash. And of course now, new qualifier and more heroes have been banned. So keep in mind, in qualifier number 2 we had 8 heroes banned, qualifier number 3, 12 heroes were banned, and now another 3 were added, making it 15 for qualifier number 3 already. So Johanna has been added, Junkrat is banned, and also Sylvanas is banned. And as usual, again, when we're talking about Meta Madness, there's 2 rules here. We have pre-banned heroes that can't be played in the entire tournament, makes things a little bit more interesting, forces team to think outside the box, and every single hero can only be played once within a series, meaning that as you progress from map 1 to map 2, map 3, and so on and so forth, the pool shrinks more and more. And that gives us usually some pretty crazy compositions as the matches continue. And of course, this is going to come to a bit of a climax in the playoffs, and I am definitely here for it. Now, the teams, they accumulate points as they're going through these qualifiers from round to round, and then every time that the qualifier is done, those points get accumulated. After all 5 qualifiers are concluded, the top teams make it into the playoffs and then play for the prize money, which is $2,000, fully sponsored by me this time. A little bit of a Christmas present for the Heroes of the Storm esports community. Yeah, we don't have a big name sponsor this time. But yeah, with that, we got Battlefield of Eternity, as mentioned, as our first map. And already Lunara gets banned here. So Jojo, Junkrat, and Sylvanas are actually very good bans, because those are heroes that have been played in all of the previous qualifiers a lot, and normally were either picked very early or even banned. So now having the 3 of them removed means automatically that the teams really have to think through this a bit. If you think, for example, Johanna, right? She's been played a lot on particularly Tomb of the Spider Queen, but also other maps. Inferno Shrines comes to mind. So now when you're looking at the front line, it's a little bit more thinned out. So we might see Arthur's a little bit more often. We might see that Imperious main tank that we already saw once or twice come into play in more games. And at least for now, we have Li Ming as our first pick, so a little bit more Immortal damage. And another one that also comes to mind here in regards to Immortal damage could, of course, be Jimmy. Now, if this was game number 2 or game number 3 with Battlefield of Eternity, I think the chances of Reyna making it into the draft would be pretty high. As is, there is still a shot that he gets played here, but since this is game number 1, there's still quite a lot of damage dealers around that he could play instead in order to get this done. So, yeah, let's see where we're going with this. ETC and Falstad. Alright, so we got Falstad already in game number 1. And Atrux is actually here. Okay, so because apparently Atrux was a little bit MIA and they were already thinking about playing with the sub, but now, and then at some point he started the game. I just assumed they found a sub, but Atrux is actually here, so they're there with their full lineup as far as I can tell. Going up against Team Ash. We actually have a couple of teams that are participating for the first time in the qualifier too. We're going to probably look at them later. Rospedol, for example, one of the Polish teams, has signed up. Some of the teams are also missing. Again, with all the qualifiers available, you don't have to participate in every single qualifier as a team. From what I can tell, the Akatsuki, for example, they haven't signed up for this particular one. Sometimes, you know, teams can't make a weekend. A couple of players are gone and it's not quite worth it for them to play with subs or whatever else happens. So, yeah, as long as they make it into the playoffs and have a chance to get their points there, it's all fine, Danny. So, Anna gets the axe and so does Greymane. Yeah, Greymane would have been a really nice damage dealer for Team Ash, of course, too. He's just a monster on structures. He's amazing on any kind of... can rip a hero apart too, but on structures against heroes, any kind of siege damage that he can get out in Worgen form in particular is obviously great. And the Haka played this early also means that for bigger maps, 1 less global. Actually, we have 2 global, so for later maps, we are going to see them. Maybe play with Samuro or no globals whatsoever. I guess the Vikings are still up, so you could take them too, not this map, but later on. We get Tyrael and Maiev. Yeah, that leaves them with 1 last damage dealer. Okay, so they got Maiev, of course, to chip in quite a lot of damage. The Haka adds some CC. And that leaves us with probably not Tyrael. Because, yeah, Uther and final pick for the blue team. We get Tannis. Alright, so Trash Tannis already part of game number 1. In this best of 3. I like qualifier number 4 already. This is the first map and it's already awesome. So, final pick for our first map between the Enjoyers and Team Ash. What's it gonna be? They need some range damage. They could still go for a mage, that obviously works. Could also go for some sustain damage. Don't really think it's gonna be Jimmy. It's Cassia, yeah. Cassia's still up. Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. So, let's go. First map in the best of 3 series. Yeah, let's go. The Enjoyers in game number 1. No! That one's on me. My bad. I have to switch over the interface. So yeah, sorry. We're gonna have the monster HP bars in game number 1. I promise I'm gonna change that for game number 2. But yeah, Blizzard screwed so many things up with their patch fixes last time. They introduced this and I had to swap out the user interfaces a couple of times. So unfortunately for game number 1, we have the monster hit point bars. My bad. Apologies. I'll swap it for game number 2. But yeah, the Enjoyers on the left side with Lavakal on ETC. We have Arion on Liming, Alvarez on Uther, Ether on Artanis, and Itrax on Falstad. On the right side, we got Team Ash with Renella on Rhaegar, Lopaka on Cassia, Bishops on Maef, Shizakid on Tyrael, and Morenas is playing the Haka, already active up at the top. Alright, so the tether, the attack, and Artanis is getting trashed already. What? Trash Tannis living up to his name, getting immediately junked over here. So, yep, he's dead. Down at the bottom of the map as they are pushing. The blue team is obviously trying to do the same thing to at least catch up. So everybody is currently just trying to do a little bit of extra damage on those structures. And it is the red team that gets a very quick lead at the top by destroying one of the towers. Now down at the bottom of the map, Lopaka still playing off against it. And by now we have the block party in, we got Ether Walk, a quick slide, and hello team, ETC, and Uther gets out. Yeah, quick stun, and he's gonna be fine. But good start for Team Ash, so they're as usual very aggressive in the early game. The Enjoyers have been, I mean, I personally still think that these people are lying. Storm League Enjoyers, nobody enjoys that shit. You do it, you know, you're like, you power through it, but nobody can tell me that they're fully enjoying this. The Haka, on the other hand, really nice move by him, and now the reinforcements are there, but they still lose the camp. They might still be able to get a kill though, or they might lose the hero because Tyrael doesn't look too good. Tyrael goes indeed down, can explode onto the camp, that's about it. And now the Enjoyers with the Dehaka kill to boot. So easy double kill. Nice. Well done. So they brought it back. Right at the beginning of the game, they struggled a bit. Artanis was trashed, and well, then things didn't really go all too well for... who died? Yeah, ETC, exactly. But now things are looking a little bit better for them after they got their own double kill. Drawing even in experience, and now it's just that exchange in damage. But I have to give some credit to Team Ash. They're doing a lot of work down at the bottom of the map. Pretty much the entire wall is destroyed here. And at the top, they've also been able to take some structures out. Falls on level 4 with the updraft, already making some adjustments. And Artanis with shield surge after the amateur opponent. Obviously, when you're going on Battlefield of Eternity, it's kind of the talent that you want. Gives you some extra damage on the Immortal, so you can play around that. But yeah. Now we get the Haka still doing his thing. Rushing over. We have each team with the global now. Traditionally, when you played the Haka or Falstad on this map, the idea was always that on the first objective you were trying to go for level 10. Now that doesn't really... Well, actually, sorry, my bad. The second objective. You wanted to go for level 10 and then join the fight. Now these days it doesn't quite work the same way anymore, but you can still try and play with the same thought in mind. Updraft already being put to good use by Itrax, so he's able to get away. They weren't ready for that kill, but the Immortal is already getting attacked. So they're starting to come in with this, starting to go for the halftime show, and it is indeed the red team that wins the halftime show initially. It's not a big lead. I mean, it's 1,400 hit points that they were able to remove, but yeah. It's tiny. But again, it's there. So, They're still trying to get this one as fast as possible. Kazuya is the only one chipping out damage over on the other side. Red team is trying to defend. It's not really all that easy for them, though. If they can get a kill, that would change things, and that's a nice stun into the Immortal stun. Lavakal might pay the price for it. They're not there yet. Artanis comes in and is useful. Good for him. Can he get out, though? Nope, he cannot. So Artanis got trashed again, but at least this time it was for a good cause. He got an Immortal for his team, so we definitely have to acknowledge that. So, yeah. Valuable. Yeah, not really. Nope. Alright, so 3 kills to 2. Quick defense up at the top. There's not a 5-man yet on the map for the Enjoyers. Oh, well, they have Artanis now coming back, but I would be shocked if that Immortal is going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. Very likely not gonna be a thing. Grounding Rot, and Falstad gets killed at the bottom of the map. Alright, the chicken is gone. Yep, back into the KFC basket. And the oversized turkey over here. Yeah, a lot of Falstads have been eaten over the weekend. It was actually Thanksgiving in the US. So, yep, all those Falstads, every single one of them, got murdered. Now, we got Calamity in on level 7, and it's starting to get a bit more dicey over here. It's party time. Oh yeah. Now that we're heading into level 10, every single kill that you can get sets you a little bit farther ahead, and if you hit your heroic abilities faster than the opponent, that's always a nice start into Immortal phase number 2. So, down at the bottom of the map, Artanis against Dehaka. And they're still pushing with that camp at the top. Tira is quite nice here because you have that extra shield that you can use. Helps you to push this a bit more aggressively, which is exactly what they're currently trying to do. And Dehaka gets some reinforcements at the bottom, as it seems, because Maiev is already starting to move in here. So if Morenas is able to get the initial drag, actually the Tether might just be enough. So off we go. Yeah, but they're getting nothing. Okay, so Artanis is only forced back, but nothing really happens over there. Up at the top, on the other hand, they're trying to make a play for Tyrael. That didn't work out either. Now we have level 10 super close. Camp is up in only 30 seconds, so it doesn't really look likely that they're going to pick this one. But they have still one camp that they claim down at the bot lane. And Dehaka is coming in for the fight. There's the lick. Gets the bird. Not enough though. ETC was ready for power slide and gets away here. But there's level 10 immediate Valkyrie. But Lopaka wasn't able to connect it. That could have been an easy kill. They should still be able to get the halftime show. Artanis isn't even moving over down at the bottom of the map for at least some damage. So free 50% that they are going to grab here. And then the real fight for the second half is going to start afterwards. Always assuming that the blue team is able to get level 10. And you know what? I'm actually not that sure anymore because they're still a bit away from it. There's a tiny window, but it's big enough to become a problem if they focus on it quickly. Then again, there we are. They try to go for a kill, couldn't quite make it work. Now instead we're getting a suppression pulse. We have Mosh Pit. And Artanis is sitting on the left side using his level 1 to take down the Immortal. One hit at a time. So, with that, we also have the disc back up in 5 seconds. Definitely make that play here. Artanis is actually doing a really nice job in regards to damage. It's a 5 versus 4 at the same time over on the blue team's Immortal, so the red team needs to really capitalize on the numbers advantage. He can't lose on all of those things. And currently it doesn't look too great, honestly. I think with that gust and a bit of time bought, Artanis is going to get it for the team. That would be the second Immortal that they're grabbing. But red team comes in. There's the Mosh Pit. Doesn't even get interrupted. It's super close. 35 hit points. 35 on the shield. Artanis has actually done it. Mosh Pit delayed them long enough, but ETC gets killed. But yeah, 35 is actually pretty spectacular. That's ridiculous. Nice swap, and Rega gets killed. Well done. Yeah, it's starting to become a pretty fun match here between the two teams. Now the kill lead is in the hands of Team Ash. That's undeniable. But this is still highly interesting. A 35 hit point shield. I haven't seen that in a long time. This is one of the closest, or one of the smallest shields I've ever seen. I believe I had single digits once in a game, but this is still insane. So, we have a lead in experience for Team Ash. They also, despite the fact that they now lost 2 Immortals, have not lost a fort yet. Both of these forts are extremely low though. So, yeah, they should not survive too long. If the blue team is eager to take them down, they should fall. Falset is poking, Li Ming is going to try and set another combo up. And they're actually grabbing ETC. Sanctification dodges, nice. That was actually really nice. So Sanctification just dodged Gust. That's why he actually dropped it. They couldn't get a kill, but those were some very, very nicely timed ults that we got from the team. We had Gust used, yeah, the birdie's down, to save ETC. Even a Divine Shield had to be dropped. But now they got their kill. At the top though, Artanis is escorting a minion wave in and also a camp, which means that now the fort gets destroyed. And down at the bottom of the map, of course, they're going to try and repay them in kind, at least drop this fort a bit lower. Level 13 talents are going to give them a temporary advantage. Tidal waves are in as well. And up at the top, we already have the attack coming in for the wall. But generally speaking, we have now still an advantage for Team Ash. They are losing out on structures though, and that could of course in the long term be their downfall. They are currently winning more of the team fights. They're doing fairly alright. The problem that they have is that they just can't win an objective, as it seems. They lost 2 of them already, and we kind of have to see if they can do a little bit more on number 3. Level 13 talent for both teams. That gives us the mic check, 1 2 1 2. Illusionist is in, well met, and the triple strike. So, Immortal is up. All of the forts are gone. That means also that all of the fountains are gone, and we have even talents. So, Team Ash has to really make a play here. They've been doing a great job in team fights. They've been doing overall fairly okay, but they suck at the objective right now, and that's why they are 2 forts behind. So, if they want to bring this back, they can definitely do it. The thing is, they have to win an Immortal. And yeah, tactical pause here, clearly by Atrax. So it seems like the Enjoyers are currently talking through the situation, analyzing this a little bit, and they're like, all right, boys, we got a camp at the bottom of the map. We got also at the same time Ether over there on the side. ETC's ready for that slide. Wait for that Immortal stun, slide through, push him in. And then we get the stun chain, and then we just blow them up with Li Ming, get the resets, take the team down, and then it's glorious victory all the way from there. Or somebody's mom, or the cat peed on his keyboard, the mom has food ready, or something like that. Sounds a little bit more exciting if you're actually talking about like what they could do now. But yeah, either way. We got everybody in here. Bishops is already at the front with Maiev, so he can go for the tether and see if they can get a lock here. I mean, everything is currently playing out on the blue team's Immortal, so at the end of the day, they're going to try and get their win right here, right now. But they also have to play around the Immortal stun, which is going to be fairly important. Cassia, as you can see, 24,000 damage for her right now. We got 33,000 for Falstad. So the birdie is currently the top damage dealer for the Enjoyers, even ahead of Li Ming. And she is a threat. If Arian gets resets, that would be a problem. Now, most of the ults are up. Artanis is still waiting for a suppression pulse. The same is true with Valkyrie. But more importantly, we have the disc back out. Yeah, I guess maybe the Haka missing his ult is a bit of a problem. And none of the globals, by the way, are on any of the side lanes. So both of the globals are currently joining that fight. And just to give you an idea of the experience distribution, you can already see that the passive experience is now slowly starting to kick in for the blue team. They just destroyed 2 forts, so that gap is going to widen. And they have done a pretty okay job on minions as well. So they're still trailing behind experience by a bit. But if they now win another Immortal, then this is going to become a huge issue. Particularly since we already have a camp and a wave down here, this will eventually damage the wall. Now, it's not going to destroy the entire thing, but it will damage the wall at least a little bit. So they gotta be careful, which just, again, means Team Ash needs to win an Immortal here. They need to actually do something right now. The fights have been going well, but they haven't capitalized properly with map objectives on it yet. But they're the ones being aggressive, they're the ones poking, they're getting this slowly reduced, but the blue team is defending this with everything they have. So you step out a bit too far and you're going to be toast. And now it's the exact opposite. Red team is giving up the halftime show. That's a ballsy call. I mean, it helps them to defend the bot lane, I suppose. And they're also getting a camp here. But they just gave up the halftime show completely. And they're also a little bit late to the party in the middle. So they have to really hurry. That, if they lose another Immortal and it's a big shield, then they are in real trouble. Right now, still all fine. I like that Falsa is now at the top and the Hark at the bottom, so the Globals have tightened to the side lanes a bit. But yeah, gotta be a bit cautious now, because this is very dangerous for Team Ash. They just can't lose another Immortal. But at least we have now a bit of poke happening, and so far they're zoning them away from the red Immortal as best as they can. So at least that. 113 stacks for Falsa, by the way, which isn't too bad. Falsa is actually stacking incredibly aggressively. Li Ming is now shooting over some volleys at the bot lane too. And zoning them away very neatly. And the camp has been defeated as well. But they go for the birdie! And he's dead. Sanctification. Now they're going to try and trash Tannis again. But he gets a Divine Shield. Damn. They popped everything here. And it seems that Team Ash might walk away with this one. They're looking good. They're a little bit low. They gotta be careful that they're not getting snowballed by Li Ming and her resets, for example. Especially Tyrael is in trouble now. But there's the Ancestral and the interrupt on the mosh pit. So they're starting to force them back again. Tannis is running out of hit points and patience, so he's already on the way back. And they win the Immortal. This was a really important one as a highlight at for Team Ash, and they were able to take it. So they win the objective, and if they now get all of these mercenary camps, oh sorry, not mercenary camps, these minion waves, they should honestly be grabbing level 16, and yep, there it is. So they have a 50% shield, they have a level 16 talent advantage. That should allow them to take, first of all, a fort out, but maybe do a bit more here too. So this will be interesting. Martial Law on 16, we now also have with the Earthgrasp Totem, the Totem build of Rhaegar concluded, and the Tunneling Claws for Dehaka. Disc is already out. Mosh Pit obviously on cooldown, and they are looking for kills. Falsa isn't here. Dehaka and the Birdie battling at the bottom of the map. There's another quick flip. They are looking for that kill. Can't find it right now, but they have destroyed the top fort, and now they're working on the keep wall. So with that level 16 advantage, they can be a bit more aggressive here. And they can at least break through the wall and the gate now. Maybe even some damage on the Immortal. The Birdie is here, so they could use Gust if it gets too dicey. Buy themselves a little bit more time. Dehaka is slowly moving down to the bottom of the map, hoping that he can put more pressure onto the bottom fort. And this is 50% of the keep going. So they did a lot with that Immortal. Dehaka, not going to be able to do a whole lot here. 16 is now ready. That gives us Mirror Ball. We got Benediction, and we got the Titan Killer. But yeah, Dehaka needs some reinforcements if he really wants to take this camp. But there's just not enough players of Team Ash down here. So yeah, that's a problem. So top lane, there's still a camp. Bit of a damage check here as well. 40,000 for Cassia, 43,000 for Li Ming, 40,000 for Falstad as well. Just saying. Falstad has, generally speaking, played a pretty good game, but he's also on the very squishy side, so they were able to take him down 3 times already. Still 2 heroes for each team that haven't fallen at all. But Team Ash is now trying to take that fort out at the bot lane. Wow, nice swap. Tannis, though, in trouble. Every single time that she comes in with a quick tether, it looks like Tannis is on a leash. He's like, come here. Come here. Good boy. And then and he's dead. So, yeah. Talking about dead. Top lane. Is he going to be able to get that kill? Tunneling Claws? Alright, the essence got popped. At least forced him to do that. But for a moment, I thought that Dehaka might be in more trouble than he realized. So they're going for the camp at the same time, but good damage over here. Next Immortal is also coming up. There's still a 1-level lead that we have for Team Ash. And let's see. ETC already sliding on. I love Holy Ground, by the way. If you have a player that knows how to properly play it, you can make so many cool plays with Holy Ground and just section off parts of the opponent's team, drive a wedge between them, and that's what Tyrell is doing the entire time here. The Prussian Pulse is in, they're all trying to save ETC after he got disked. But there's the drag, and what? The Divine Shield on Artanis. And he actually survives. They gotta pop a lot of ults for him, but he is alive and kicking. Now we're starting to jump in for ETC, and as he gets focused, they are not able to keep him in play. This is something that has to be dealt with, though. Catapults and also Shaman Camp at the bottom of the map. The Haka's already on it. And at the same time, up at the top, we now have one catapult also for the Enjoyers. So, yep, they are able to get a bit more damage onto the keep. It's a little bit of a wild situation because the blue team has lost one of their heroes, but they're taking the objective, or at least they're pushing much further in. Halftime show is obviously already there, so that's a big win for them. And the only question that remains is who's actually walking away with the Immortal, because everybody had to fall back and defend some of their keeps. Topside keeper's taking some damage. Now the next team fight. ETC is not here yet. It's a 5 versus 4 essentially once that everybody is here. And they're trying for that next kill. Everything is playing out just under the nose of the blue team's Immortal, so there's a couple of stun circles that have to be dealt with as well. But yep, right now there's the attack. ETC is also back. Maiev coming in from the top again. Halftime show is even Steven right now on the hit points, but it just continues. Ether is a little bit low and has to be careful here. Lavakal also looking for the next slide. Moshpit is still on cooldown. Divine Shield for Uther, that's still available. And they're a bit on a clock here because this is pushing in and Itrax is currently the one that is dealing with it. He's taking care of it, but that allows the red team to go for another attack. Yes, there's the fault of the Wardens from Maiev. Sanctification hasn't been used yet. Another disc against Artanis. Morena's a little bit low. They're really firing everything they have. But this is a problem. This is a real problem. Alright, thankfully for them, this worked out nicely with the keep itself targeting the Shaman. That is half a level until level 20. This is the idea that Team Ash has currently. They are hoping to get level 20, but now that they're falling back, the Enjoyers are making a quick play for the Immortal. Might get it. There's the Mosh Pit. It's the Divine Shield on ETC. Or at least that was the idea. Sanctification came through instead, and that Divine Shield never really hit them. They didn't go for the full Holy Cow, and now ETC is dead. Trash Tannis is eliminated, and the Birdie is dead too. The Immortal goes to the Enjoyers, but at least that top side keep should now get murdered. You have only Uther left and you have Liming left. It would have been just too good for the full Holy Cow to play out, but the Sanctification that we saw there from Tyrael was actually top-notch, and they're trying to go for the core. And keep in mind, with Tyrael, you also have a situation in which if you get the explosion, the Tyrael explosion alone is going to take 5% off the opponent's core. So even if they lose everybody here, Tyrael might be able to finish it. They don't care about the Immortal at all, but this is just looking stellar for Team Ash. The Enjoyers are about to go down in game number 1. It is a lead for Team Ash in this best of 3 series at the 4th qualifier for Meta Madness. GG, well played. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Garden of Terror, second map in the best of 3. So there was a little bit of a change as well. Obviously Team Ash is now ahead, meaning also that the 10 heroes that were played on the previous map cannot be played again. That, in addition to the 15 pre-bans that you can see down here, means 25 heroes are now unavailable. But also, we have a new player. So Alvaros apparently had some internet problems, and they said during the downtime, they said like, okay guys, apparently his internet died completely, so he's out. Now they're playing with Twice, so they had a sub already that was just waiting to see if there's a issue or whatever. Twice already played with them before, so it's not like they had to get a random guy in or whatever. They played with him in the past. So with that now, we got Garden of Terror with a lot of main tank bans. Damn. In this case, I'm counting Imperius as a main tank. simply because as we are getting more pre-bans, as more and more frontliners are removed, Imperius is going to be more and more claimed as somebody that will play the main tank role instead of a side laner. So with now Muradin, Anubarak and Imperius banned, that limits your pool quite a bit. Now obviously this is game number 2, so it's not completely insane, but it is still something to watch out for, because let's see how they're going to react to this now. Particularly if we're getting a third map, this might become interesting. But okay, Stukov as a first pick. Right now we still have a couple of main tanks available that can be claimed, despite the fact that Johanna now joined the ranks of the pre-banned heroes, together with Junkrat and Sylvanas. And Garden of Terror. Yeah, this is where you normally would like to have global, but Dehaka is out, Falstad is out, you could play Vikings, you could play Samuro, ETC has been taken, so you can't play ETC stage dive anymore. If you really want to go very deep with this, then Illidan with the Hunt would be your final option, I suppose. I don't think I forgot anybody. But yeah, those are at least some of the ones we have to keep in mind. Of course, Garden of Terror, a lot of mercenary camps. You want to have heroes that are really good on them. Sonya is still available. Greymane is still available, just to name 2. Jaina helps you with that a lot. So when Jaina comes in and just gets her combos out, she can take camps down very quickly. We get Tyrande from Renella. So that's already Hunter's Mark. That's a stun. And then you have Jaina with burst damage. Could get Varian for them, honestly. Varian plus Tyrande would work quite nicely. Zeratul and Yrel. We're seeing more and more Zeratul, and I absolutely love it. With more heroes being pre-banned, these Zeratul plays are going to become more and more exciting. But Zeratul's win rate isn't really all that great, because most of the time when he was played, the opponent's team, they've done an incredible job at tracking his movements, tracking his position, his potential blink and recall options, and it was just way too much for them to handle. So I like that Zeratul gets played again. I just want to see if they can be a bit more successful than they previously were, or that other teams previously were. But there again, this is qualifier 4, so some things have changed compared to qualifier number 3. But alright. So with that, we have our final ban, and it's Varian. Yeah, if you look Tyrande and Jaina in with a limited frontline pool as is, I mean, what else are they gonna ban? Of course they're gonna ban Varian. This is the most obvious choice in that situation. And now we have 5 frontliners banned. They just banned out 5. They're just like, okay, screw main tanks. We get Kerrigan by Bishops, and there's Mal'Ganis. Alright, this is a sexy team. For sure. Kerrigan with stuns, Tyrande with follow-up, Jaina with slows, with burst damage, Mal'Ganis to set up the sleep, and yeah, this is this is going to be a nasty game. And now the question is, what is Twice going to do? Twice usually plays the main tank for the team whenever he subs in, so are they going to do that now? The Enjoyers, they still need to make a pick happen. We have Yrel, we have Zeratul, Stukov. So far so good. Here comes Mei, and we get Kalthas. Okay, so another stun with the gravity lapse from Kalthas, and yeah, more Overwatch with Mei. Which leaves us with the final pick over on the side of Team Ash. They already have the lead in the series. This is a best of 3. So they could finish it here. And with the 2-0 victory, they would move on to the winner bracket semi-final. The loser obviously will drop down into the losers bracket. Still has another chance to make it into the grand final with the losers bracket run. But for Garden of Terror, we get Sonya. So strong lineup for sure on the side of Team Ash. And well, let's head straight into game number 2, Garden of Terror. Game number 2, match point for Team Ash. Over on the left side, we get Aether on Yrel, Itrax on Kalthas, Lavakal is playing Stukov, Arian on Zeratul, and Twice is playing Mei. Twice again subbing in for Alvaros, who apparently had some serious internet problems and his internet disconnected completely. Team Ash on the right side in red with Renella on Tyrande, Shizakid on Mal'Ganis. We got Morenas and Sonya, Lopaka on Jaina, and Bishops is playing Kerrigan. So, Kerrigan on level 1 with the Fury of the Swarm. We got Ranger in the house. We get also the Shadowhunter build for Zeratul. So, level 10. Trying to smooching with Mei a little bit. On level 10 we're going to get a Might of Narazim. And is it going to be heat transfer for May, or what are we getting as the level 1 choice? Khaldor! Khaldor! Salami! And he's dead. Alright. So, he's already gone. And, well, May still without a talent, but first blood is in for Team Ash. Every single time that Khaldor gets played, I'm thinking immediately about salami and I'm thinking about pizza. And honestly, right now that I have him right in front of me, God, I could really do with a pizza. Nice combo. I don't think they had enough damage here, but yeah, still a bit of a scary moment. No heat transfer, by the way. Ice Storm instead. And, well, at least for now, Team Ash is doing pretty alright with the initial damage. So, yeah. I've been telling you guys that we have like a pizzeria here that is absolutely insane. I mean, these guys, you can't really eat in the pizzeria itself. So it's pretty much just you pick up your pizza. They don't have delivery. And they still are so insanely popular that they have thousands of positive reviews. You have to order your pizza super early in the day or you're just not going to get one. And they are just insane. The pizza is incredibly cheap. It's ridiculous for what you get. And it is just so damn good. If it wasn't also probably insanely calorie heavy, I could eat that shit every single day. So yeah, now that I have Khaldor here, I'm thinking about that pizza and I'm just like, let's go. And they have a fantastic self-made tiramisu. Oh, yeah, I'm not hungry at all. I'm not hungry whatsoever. Alright, so there's our 1-1 after we finally got a kill. And all the way up at the top with that camp. They've done some damage here. The defense is still trying to take care of it, but this is the power of mercenary camps on Garden of Terror. So we have a kill for a kill right now. Jaina has dealt with the bottom of the map. First seed is now already up. And off we go. We already have our little... can he actually interrupt? Twice? Yes, he can. Alright. So Twice is able to interrupt this real quickly. Sonya is still slamming away. The next camp is currently taking the Siege Giants over on the top right. And the blue team has now fully taken over around the seat in an attempt to grab this one and get a kill. Shizakid gets attacked, but gets out. Yeah, Mal'Ganis is pretty annoying. He is insanely annoying. But yeah. And by the way, so shit at cooking that every single time that I find something new that I can make for myself, I'm like insanely proud. But it's always the most mundane and boring stuff. So after I finally realized that I can make food very quickly and easily with an air fryer, I now consider myself a chef. And again, Salami Boy gets killed again. How am I not supposed to think about food when he gets killed every single time? That's my head somehow associated. So what I do lately, I always like so they have like tomato tuna, normal tuna. And the problem if you want to put that on bread is that it's the consistency doesn't make it really easy to put on normal toasted bread. So what I do lately, I put that in a small bowl, put a little bit of guacamole in there, and then mix that all together, and that makes it really nice to just like put as a spread on bread when you have that with tuna. And it's just a little bit of a snack that I sometimes get for myself. But just the fact that I sit there for like 30 seconds and put guacamole and tuna together already makes, like, I already feel like I'm a chef, you know? I'm doing stuff more so than just opening a package or a can. And I'm sitting here thinking like, this is so sophisticated. I mean, look what I'm doing right now. It is actually really good. So I don't know. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. I can make pancakes and a couple of other things, but when it comes to real cooking, like the simplest things, everything that needs more than a single step in my head is already associated with cooking. So yeah, always having a laugh about how absolutely embarrassing my skills are. But I don't know. It like tastes good. It's fast, and yeah, time is of the essence. What can I say? 2 kills to 1. Not really a lot happening, honestly. A couple of skirmishes, nothing insane. Just a bigger back and forth between the two teams. An Owl is coming through. We're now getting the Ice Flurs in over here. The Khaldor resistance, still misspelled, even after years of this in the game. I mean, honestly, if they already want to honor me with a talent name, then they should at least put the H in as well. So yeah, they're still misspelling it. I should send in a letter at some point and be like, hey boys, it's been long enough. I'm putting you on notice now. Either spell my name correctly or put it out completely. And Kael'thas is just inting. Flame Boy is flaming out over here. So, yeah, this is the 3rd time that he died. And, well, that means that every single death on the blue team is on Kael'thas. Thankfully, Stukov is going for Solidarity death. So, he just looked at the scoreboard. He was just like, yeah, Kael'thas is going to feel shitty. He's going to have anxiety. He's probably going to have some mental problems already, and then he needs to go to a psychologist. And I mean, this is 2023 after all, so we have to be a little bit more understanding here. What can I do to make him feel better for just inting the entire time? And then he's like, you know what? I'm just going to suicide a little bit. And then he feels better because he's not the only one that died. And, you know, that's how we do it these days, because that's just how it's done. So, yeah. Applause for Stukov. Applause for Stukov. That Solidarity death was a big, gesture. So yeah, now Kael'thas is not alone anymore. We got 15 stacks for Kael'thas, by the way, so once that he has his quest completed, his Mana Addict, we might be able to survive through a few more things. We have Leap and Ultralisk, so there are even more stuns now and more aggression that they can play out. But yeah. Phoenix, yeah, no balls for Pyroblast, that's what we get on Kael'thas. But they're getting that wall, aren't they? 2 for 1, even against Urel. If the reinforcements are coming, then maybe they got a chance. But we have now 2 seeds to 1, and the next one spawning. Someone has to explain that Phoenix to me. Did they really think they could lock him down and then kill him? Well, he might get that kill though. Bishops is in trouble. And yep. What is Carrigan doing over here? Can Carrigan carry again? I would say no. Yeah, that backpack has a hole or something, so yeah. Owl kills would be amazing right now. There's nothing more embarrassing than a well-timed owl kill, particularly when you think you're safe, you're behind a gate or whatever. But yeah, not quite. So, Jaina is down, and the blue team is picking up some steam, aren't they? They go for the next kill. This time they go for Mal'Ganis. Can they get him? Nope, they cannot. Oh, Sonya with the leap. Somebody is being a bit aggressive. You guys know that you are in a numbers disadvantage, right? You already got that memo. Maybe they didn't, because Sonya went full solo YOLO, and now she's dead, and Mal'Ganis is dead too. Nice bait, Sonya. Nice bait. So she baited the team into the fight, and that cost them 2 more heroes. Not so sure how happy they're going to be about that. But Sonya just realized that she could stun out 4 heroes at the same time. And she's like, whoa! Jumps in and dies a painful death shortly after. 5 kills to 4. We got level 13 for the Enjoyers. And it is a little bit of a throw fiesta right now. If this continues, then we're going to go to game number 3. Level 13 for both teams. It gives us the Harsh Moonlight. Each team with 2 seeds, so the next seed is going to drop some Garden Terrors into the game. And we're on level 13 already, and Kael'thas is still not done with this quest. Now he should definitely pick up a globe somewhere before he heads into the next fight. Yeah, but it's actually Urel that gets caught, and she's gone, so that's bad news. Unless, of course, they can get a kill down here. Nice done! That could have been that still could be the end of Zeratul. I think he's going to make it out. Zeratul is going to make it out. Or is he? He gets away. Barely. Garden Terrors get taken. The Owl misses too. But with them zoning Zeratul, they were able to grab the seed, and therefore the Garden Terrors. And now it is time for some structures to fall. That bottom fort shouldn't stand a chance. I think they're probably gonna take this one down in the middle as well. Lopaka is still working on his baseline quest, by the way. He should honestly get there very quickly. Yep, there it is. Gets the ice block. Super important against Zeratul. Bot lane, yep. Garden Terror is going to take this one out. Up at the top, not quite. Zeratul a little bit too strong. But over here in the middle, of course, it is going to be the end of this fort. So, 2 forts annihilated. And they're setting up a bit of a trap here. But Arian is not falling into that yet. Quick leap and a stun, and Kael'thas is barely getting out. They had to unleash everything in order to save him. Now Tyrande is in trouble. Urel is jumping in, and Tyrande is gone. Yep, she is still on the squishy list. And whenever Zeratul gets close enough, she's going to be in trouble. And now they're bouncing Mal'Ganis around. He doesn't survive either. So bad news for Team Ashe. Just as they're getting Garden Terrors, they're losing a few more heroes. 16 is getting closer and closer for the Enjoyers. And of course, if they get the next seed, then it also means they will have the next set of Garden Terrors, which is another problem. Now, either way, what else can they do here? 7 kills to 5, 16 any moment. That honestly should help them to go for the objective. We now have also the Virulent Reaction on level 13. We're getting the Ice Barrier. We have Flurry after Induced Hibernation. Flurry, not to be mixed up with Furry. That's a little bit different. And, yep, Renella. He already played Tyrande, and I think so far his track record with Tyrande is pretty solid in the qualifiers. But in this game, at least, it doesn't really look too good. They're trying to steal the camp away. That should work. But they're also losing the fort at the top lane. No saving this one anymore. The good news for Team Ashe is that they're gonna get level 16 before the seed is on the ground. So, yep, there it is. Seed is now up at the top left. If they want to prevent the Garden Terrors, they have to lock that in. That top lane is already looking very dangerous, by the way. Just saying. Ice Wall hitting nothing, absolutely nothing. Mei instead gets killed, and they might get Urel too. Urel is hopping away, gets stunned, put to sleep. Oh, and there's the combo. Yeah, they're going for that keep at the bottom of the map. And up here at the top, it's Sonya that is now moving in to deal with it. So Sonya is coming in. There's just way too many keeps. She need to, sorry, way too many camps. She needed to do something about that. But they are getting that keep at the bot lane. So Team Ashe is bringing this back. Every single time that they fall behind, they're there a second later. And they're starting to do real work. Now they have destroyed that keep. Zeratul is trying for the seed, and he is gonna get it. Well, the owl could interrupt it once, but nobody else is doing anything here. So yeah, they're just going for some camps instead. Wait, what? Oh, damn, he didn't actually take it? He could have. Ah, I guess he didn't have vision and didn't know if there was someone close. So, yep, they let that slide. And goodbye. That's how you get a quick kill on Zeratul. Poor guy didn't stand a chance. It was like insta-gift. Full stun lock, fully destroyed. 8 kills to 7 now. We got 23,000 for Jaina, 22,000. Well, actually also 23,000 for Kerrigan. We're generous today. Rounding up. 26,000 for Zeratul and 25,000 for Khaldor. So the blue team has more damage. They're bringing more damage to the table. They are just struggling to get the objective and also take some structures down. The only thing that they were able to do so far is destroy their top fort. Now, to be fair, they haven't had an objective yet. They haven't had Web Beavers, Garden Terrors, yeah, the thingies that go through the lane. But, I mean, currently, good positioning on the next seed for the red team. So a chance to go down there and make it even too. So, let's see what they can pull off. I mean, I gotta say that with everything that we're seeing here right now, it looks extremely good for Team Ashe. Few more team fights. That level lead is also nothing to frown upon. 1 level ahead at this point, that's pretty big. So yeah, they take the camp. Urel is saying hi. That's an early ice block for Jaina. So yeah, that's a cooldown that she just burned. Has to be a bit careful with that. Then again, 19.5. If they can get to level 20 with this, that would be great. Sonya, that stun lock. Mei can't play the game anymore. Literally putting the hands off the keyboard. She gets absolutely stun locked and destroyed here. Leap from Sonya, Kerrigan combo, and they're just crushing it. 5 versus 4 now. They're desperately trying to get a counter kill, but instead Stukov is dead. That's the end of Zeratul, and now they're likely just gonna go for game. I mean, death timers are pretty big. It tracks. I don't think he's gonna make it either. Nope, he gets also killed, and now they don't even have to deal with anything anymore. It's a 5-man team wipe. The entire team is done, and that means we are going to the core. And a 2-0 victory for Team Ashe is imminent. Nicely done by them, really well played. So they are able to take the Enjoyers out and send them into the losers bracket here in this quarter-final match of qualifier number 4. Well played. And Team Ash obviously therefore is moving on to the winner bracket semi-final. Congratulations. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.